it's a work in progress, and it's centered around the idea of um, the impossibility of proving a negative. So the current working title of the book is "Frogs in Our Pockets," and it comes from a story where I had a patient who came in and said, like, there's a lump on my arm. I said, show me, and he couldn't show me, and I said, I can't see it, I can't feel it, and he said, yeah, but it was there a couple weeks ago, and my primary saw it. I said, okay, well, your primary can decide what tests appropriate. And he said, well, the primary sent me to see you. And I said, right, and if I can see it, I'd be happy to evaluate it for you. But if you don't see anything there now, and you don't feel anything there now, and you can't show me what you saw or felt before, I don't know where to start. And we talked about, like, we could do this test, we could do this test, we could do this test, and all of them are going to be normal, all of them are going to be negative, because, like, there's nothing there right now. So I think it was on the cheekier side, my response, but I said, can you prove that there's no frog in my pocket right now? And he said, what? I said, do I have a frog in my pocket? He goes, I don't know. I said, and you can't prove that I don't? And he goes, no. I said, if I did, I could pull it out, right? You could prove that it's there, but you can't prove that it's not there. And there's a difference between what you said, which is, oh, that was really arrogant, or, ooh, that was unwise, or, a great line from Jacob, my son, who was, I think, 14 at the time. And he's standing across from Ahab, who's like 30 something, next to me, who's 40 something. And on his other side is Anthony Zaki, who's like 20 something. So you have like four generations: teens, 20s, 30s, 40s. And we were like, what's wrong with you? Like, why did you do that? And Jacob goes, it seemed like a good idea at the time. And me and Anthony and Ahab just looked at each other. We're like, yeah, like, like, what are you gonna, like? What do you say to that, right? Like, how many times a day do we say it seemed like a good idea at the time, and, like, that's the best answer you could give? So recognizing when you're unwise, recognizing when you're unhumble, sure, I agree with that. That's not the same thing. So saying we have a frog, I agree with, but you can't prove the non-existence of a frog. And wisdom and humility, I think, are more, if you'll accept the word, apophatic than